It's Blindmute Loli guy. Back again. I know I said I wouldn't be back till Saturday, but I decided to make a thread tonight since stuff has been happening. First thing, I got a job. Once again, not glamorous. Another restaurant job. My new boss isn't as cool as my old one, as in we have to actually work instead of just playing the arcade machines. But it's still a job, and a job is a job. Now, this is where a problem comes in. I needed a babysitter. For the first day, I requested Luke to help me out. It seemed like a good arrangement, until I got home. Everything was fine, the apartment in perfect form. Except one of Erica's pair of underwear was missing. No, I'm not some sort of pedo. I just know what she has because I bought them and she doesn't have tons. And one of them has become MIA. Right after Luke babysat. You see where I'm going with this. Now I know Luke's a bit of a lolicon. I've seen his mangas, but I never thought he would do something like this. As of yet, though, I have no solid proof to call him on. I've been trying to infiltrate his room whenever I go over to his house to retrieve the panties. If he finds they're gone, he'll know I know. Someone else also suggested I set up some cheapo cam to catch him on camera and use panty bait to catch him in the act. I don't particularly want to humiliate him, just let him know I've found out and he needs to stop. I can sympathize with Luke. I've had feelings that were taboo. Not for Erica, but other things. However, he can't just go around stealing her panties. I know this may seem hypocritical of me with the Sharon situation and all, but there's a chance he may be reading this very paragraph. So, if you are Luke, hand over the underwear and nobody gets hurt. Needless to say, I haven't requested his babysitting help anymore. I should probably give Erica the naughty places people shouldn't touch inappropriately speech. The problem with not having Luke is I have to rely on my next source, Megan. Megan's infatuation becomes increasingly more creepy every day. Sometimes, when I come home to drive her to her place, she seems to forget there's a kid in the room. Sharon luckily hasn't seen any of this. I'm trying to avoid her, but it's hard when she's still super hot and provides babysitting service. Will I fuck her in August? Not even I know. She also seems to be having somewhat of an influence on Erica. Not a good one either. She seems to think it's cute to put Erica in makeup and doll her up. I don't really like it much, though. I guess it's relatively harmless, compared to Luke. I'm pretty sure all he's done is panty thievery. Nothing perverted to her, actually. I think she would have said something, or have given some indication. Besides, I don't think Luke is that dangerous. I compare him to Mr. Kimura of Azumanga Daioh. He has his faults, his vices, but he's not rotten to the core. Hopefully. Anyways. In other Megan news, her ex-boyfriend, since she broke it off with him and subsequently got fired, has been harassing me. He's never said who he is, but it's pretty obvious. I'm not too worried about it, although it does take me back to being a moody, hormonal teen. As opposed to now, when I'm a moody, hormonal adult. Legally, anyways. Erica has been up to her usual. We also both been learning Braille together. It's not particularly hard, just bumps replacing letters. The issue is remembering which bumps go to which letters. I've still been teaching her typing, and she's improving. Discussing it, Sharon and I thought that maybe we should enroll her in a public school so she can make more friends. It's not like they won't have a person to help her, and I'm sure she could manage. I can teach her some things, but she does need a real education. As for Sharon, she's been much busier lately. Mark is back in effect, and Sharon and him are off together a lot. Mark is quickly becoming my enemy, though. He seems to be opposed to me staying with Sharon. This is a natural reaction for any boyfriend, but if he's trying to separate myself and Erica, then he can't be forgiven and must be terminated. I don't really like being the only one without a boyfriend or girlfriend or wife or husband. We've had Jimmeroo and his wife over for dinner, with Sharon with Mark, and me with my hand. The main candidate for my girlfriend is Megan right now, though I don't see myself bringing her on many adult expeditions. Erica has made friends of Melanie and Amelia, though. They're getting along as most kids do. Melanie is sort of a mischievous 12-year-old, though, taking charge of the trio, it would seem, being the oldest. She's went over to Jim's to play sometimes, and I haven't gotten any complaints, so she must not be tearing his house up. Erica's party is also well underway. I'm making preparations, but I'll tell what happens on the day of it. I also was sort of forced into giving Megan an invite, or maybe strongly coerced would be the phrase. Not that I have a problem inviting her. Erica seems to like Megan, looking up to her as the cool, older girl who knows more than she does. She probably thinks that same way of Melanie, since she's a bit of a know-it-all, and I guess she gets to assume that position to Amelia, who is younger. So it works out, right? She can still beat them all at checkers, though. All is really going good. Erica is socializing, and it seems like I may be settled down somewhere for good. Unless Mark wants to ruin it. Not that I'd let him. Goals I have now. 1. Police Luke's promiscuous, perverted panty plan. 2. Enhance Erica's extravaganza. And 3. Murder malevolent Mark. Ha, alliteration. Anyways, this time I definitely won't post a thread until Saturday and tell you how I've been coming on these 3. Hello, B. Blindmute Loli guy here. As you may or may not know, today was our little Erica's birthday, making her 9. However, before I get into that, I have to cover some events that took place yesterday. In the last entry, Luke was accused of stealing Erica's panties. I was determined to figure out what was up, so I went to Luke's for some undercover action. I claimed it was just a friendly visit, but my real mission was a stealthy invasion of Luke's house, retrieval of underwear, and the assassination of Liquid Snake. I walked into his place and said I needed to go to the bathroom. That was my cover. Anyways, up the stairs I crept, while Luke sat unknowingly. Past the bathroom I went and down the hall to Luke's room. From being friends with Luke for so long, I know him. He's paranoid, but he's lazy. They would have to be in a place people don't usually look, but also in a place he himself could get to easily. Wherever they were, they would have to fulfill those requirements. I checked all of the places I could think of, under his mattress, in the closet, but soon I was exhausted of ideas. Plan A failed. However, I was not without a plan B. You can be sure. You see, I had a bag of clothes out in the car prepared, filled with some of my clothes, Erica's, and you guessed it, panties. The bait. I brought it in after coming down Luke's stairs. I asked him if I could do some laundry at his place since Sharon's washer and dryer were broken, which was another lie. Then I said I left something up in the bathroom and went to the stairs to wait, leaving him alone with the bait. I made a few fake stomping noises on the stairs to make it seem as if I had walked up, and I waited. From a person who is no stranger to panty stealing and sniffing, though never of an 8-year-old, I know how the process works. You spy your target. You begin to get nervous, thinking, should I do it? What if somebody walks in? You get more nervous, but you approach your target more and more. You keep on acting casual, getting closer and closer to the panties. When you're as close as possible, your heart beating, you're still contemplating. You may step back a bit, lose your nerve, but eventually you're just going to grab and sniff. I played this out in my mind, peeking past the corner a bit, but not enough for him to notice me. Before long, he took the bait. I emerged myself from my hiding position, and I swear he almost had a heart attack. I could sympathize. I was never caught, but my heart practically jumped out of my chest when I used to do it anyways. From my sisters, I would loot. Luke looked a bit scared, actually. I think he thought I was going to beat the shit out of him. I calmed him down a bit, and we talked about it. I was mad at him, but at the same time I know Luke. I know he's a bit of a lolicon. He has his flaws. They're not for me. They're for Melinda. At this point, I thought Luke was making up an outrageous excuse about Melinda being some sort of lesbian pedo, but he explained it to me. Melinda has a very small figure, as I've mentioned before. I believe I've used the words, as close as a 25-year-old can get to being 8. Luke, to cure his erectile dysfunction, wanted Melinda to dress up like a little girl. To complete this, he stole Erica's panties to be worn by Melinda. Do I believe this? Well, it could be. Couldn't you just go to the store and buy some? That's embarrassing for a dude my age to be buying panties made for little girls. Well, that's true. When I bought the ones for Erica, it was a bit awkward at the register. Either way, Luke coughed up the original pair and it was all okay. Yeah, it was a bad thing for him to do, but we've all made mistakes. Like me and Melinda. I did, however, tell him that if he ever does it again or tries anything further, I would beat the living shit out of him. See you at the party tomorrow. I also went home and gave Erica a little talk about perverts, but she didn't much understand, so I just told her not to let Luke touch her. Goal 1. Police Luke's promiscuous perverted panty plan complete. So, getting Friday's events out of the way, Saturday was here. I woke up in the morning, having time before I was planning on taking Erica out so Sharon could set up for the party. We had a special birthday breakfast, which had a pancake with a candle on it. Erica blew out the candle as I directed her to, and made a wish. After the eating was finished, it was planning on being a usual morning. The party for Erica was a surprise one, and I had made sure it stayed as such. In fact, the birthday breakfast was more of a decoy. Being where she's been, I can imagine she wouldn't expect much more, but more she would get. I used my time productively during this morning, scheduling a doctor's appointment for Erica. She doesn't have any visible problems, but I just thought she should probably get a general checkup, as they say you should get. Of course, even though CPS still technically has custody of her, we haven't completed all of the official tedious papers and processes and such. They won't pony up the money for her to go. So, it's out of our pocket. I also downloaded a voice CD, as seen on the front page of WikiChan, the one with the little girl saying Oni-chan over and over. Erica didn't get why they kept on saying Big Brother, Oni-chan being Japanese for just that, and I didn't even want to corrupt her innocent mind by explaining why people would pay to hear it. Time passed, and soon it was time for me to take Erica out. Now I lied to her and said that it was for a CPS thing we needed to do. Now I had to rack my brain hard to think of where to take her. The zoo? Well, she can't really see any of the animals, so no. I thought about maybe Build-A-Bear, but I realized I hate that place with a passion. If I have to kiss any plush hearts, I might just go crazy and smother everybody in the store with a stuffed bear. Except Erica. Her and I would escape to Mexico, living under false names. Movie? Well, she would be able to follow the story by listening, but most movies these days are big old action fests relying on fancy visuals. Then I had a good idea. A museum. Museums have audio tours, so it worked. So, we were off to the museum, and she was surprised when we got there. I don't know if she was happy about my choice of attraction, but she was certainly happy about not doing anything related to CPS. We had a good time, too. History is pretty cool. People getting stabbed and assassinated everywhere. I think I gave Erica a new interest, too. She enjoyed the tales of the past, as did I. It was turning out to be a good day. She enjoyed the excursion, and we enjoyed each other's company. But I had a sense something was wrong. She was having fun, but there was something amiss. Hopefully, the surprise party would be a hit, too. We returned, and the lights were off as they should be. And then they all jumped out and yelled, "Black Power!" and stole my wallet. Okay, they all yelled surprise, but that was expected. Erica was, well, surprised, and it seemed that everything was going just as planned. Her friends were there, Amelia and Melanie, Melinda, Jim and his wife, Emo Eric, Megan, and everyone who needed to be there. Luke was absent though, for a good reason. Of his own suggestion, he wanted to act at Erica's birthday party as a clown. Erica's probably too old for it, but I didn't want to ruin his good intentions. But Luke's routine was going to come later. Right now it was the time for foods, and on the menu was the perfect kid food: pizza. Contrary to popular opinion, Loli loved pizza. I asked Sharon where the cake was, and here was when something went wrong. Well, I asked Mark to pick it up, but he called me and said he couldn't make it. God damn it, Mark. I know he doesn't take a personal interest in Erica, and I know he's so self-absorbed he doesn't care about anybody but himself, but couldn't he take the time out of his oh-so-important life to do one thing? Apparently not, so I had to go out on a last-minute cake run, but returned home with it soon enough. Erica blew out another set of candles and made another wish. The cake says, "Happy Birthday, Erica," on it. She seemed pleased with it, but still something was bothering her. Moving along, Luke the Clown apparently became Luke the Magician. He did the usual tricks. Erica wasn't able to see some of them to enjoy them. She did like the coin from behind the ear trick though, feeling the coin that Luke had produced. Amelia was probably the one who liked the show the most, and Melanie was a bit too old to enjoy it. And Eric was in the corner with his arms crossed, because he's bad like that. So Luke was a bit of a flop, no pun intended. However, I had more festivities prepared. No party would be complete without a game, no? So I had to think of an appropriate one for Erica. I picked a game I always used to like to play in my youth. We used to call it Killer. The rules of the game are as such. You take a hat or a basket or whatever and put little pieces of paper in it. Everyone draws one, and if the paper has an O, you're a victim. If it has an X, you're the killer. There's only one killer. For our purposes, I changed the paper to dice. Square-shaped ones for the victims, and a different shaped one for the killer. If you're the killer, you don't tell anybody. During the game, the lights are turned off and everybody finds a good spot to hide. Since the lights are off, visibility isn't really a factor, which is why I picked the game. And Erica knows the layout of the place, so she has an advantage. The killer counts to 20, and then begins stalking the victims, without saying a word to indicate they're coming. The killer tries to find the victims, and when they do, taps you to kill you. The object of the victims is to find out who the killer is. If you're killed by the killer, you're out of the game, and cannot tell anyone who the killer is. If you're still alive, at any time you can call a meeting to say who you think the killer is. If you're right, you win. If all the victims are killed before anybody catches them, the killer wins. The adults felt a bit silly, and Eric was clearly way too cool to be playing such a kid game. But they played anyways. We all picked a dice out, and nobody knew who the killer was. The lights went off, and the game started. I took a hiding spot behind the couch. Suddenly, I felt someone grabbing my crotch. Caught already? Nope, it was Megan. God damn it, Megan. Quit! She just giggled and continued following me around. I remembered why I liked this game. The tension, looking at the guy next to you. Are they the killer? Do you trust them? I saw Erica feeling around next to me. Was she the killer? Megan, who was still with me, thought she was. She gave me a tickle, which caused me to laugh. I'm pretty ticklish, and this alerted Erica to my location, who promptly killed me. Betrayed. Megan then called a meeting, revealing Erica to be the murderer. So we played a few more rounds, and when I was the killer, I got my revenge on Megan for her betrayal, and on Erica for killing me. The gifts were exchanged after we played killer. Well, my present wasn't there. I ordered something, but due to crappy shipping and such, it had yet to arrive. I'll tell you what it is when we get it. Megan got Erica some clothes that made me think, wow, these are the kind of clothes they make for 9-year-olds these days? Still, generous of her. Luke and Melinda's present was a chess set, since I had mentioned possibly teaching Erica, after I learned myself. Sharon got Erica a bracelet. Jimaru's gift sort of complements mine. The poor guy didn't have any idea how to shop for Erica, so I won't reveal it yet. Erica also added in some sort of emo-ish wristband thing. Oh lord. He's trying to make my kid an emo. In his own emo way, though. It's a nice thought. Eventually, though, it was time for the party to be over. Everybody went home, and Erica was a little bit tired, so she decided to go to bed. Shortly after, I got a knock on the door. And guess who? None other than Lord Mark IV. He asked if the party was over, as if he was shocked it was, and he sounded a little bit drunk. I really wanted to punch him in his douche face, calling me Junior again. So, Sharon, when you gonna throw this bum out? And then he laughed, trying to act like he was joking, but I'm sure that's just what he wants. Why does Sharon like this guy? I still don't know. Sharon said she was driving Mark home, so I was left alone. I checked on Erica to see if Mark had woken her up. She was awake and crying. I asked her what was wrong, but I already knew. It was bringing her down all day. Her parents. Another birthday without them. I talked about it with her and tried to comfort her. You know, we all care about you here too. Me, Luke, Sharon, everyone. I held her for a bit, and after she calmed down, she seemed ready to go back to sleep. I walked out, but she stopped me. She gestured for her notebook, which I retrieved for her. She wrote down, "I had fun today. I'm glad I'm with you." Oh man, my heart melted like chocolate. I gave her a kiss on the forehead, and then she fell asleep again. I just stood there looking at her. I'm a pretty lucky guy. Well, overall, the birthday was a success, and I'm more determined to do everything I can to make Erica happy. She's always seemed like a pretty happy-go-lucky kid, despite her misfortunes. But I was reminded today that she still has some emotional wounds. I love that girl, though. I'm going to do absolutely everything I can for her. Hi-ho, B. It's Blindmute Loli guy. For tonight, Erica was invited to a sleepover at Jim's place. I wasn't initially thrilled at the idea of her being away, but then again, Jim's place is right by, literally, Sharon's, and it would be rude to refuse as they were nice enough to come to her birthday party. So I agreed. Since Erica was going to be gone, I decided I should make some plans for the evening. I had an idea to do a cheaters-like sting on Mark, try to catch him being polyamorous. I suggested this to the AIM chat, which informed me it was stupid. The more I considered this, the more I agreed. He could see me, and if he does, he might be violent and probably drunk. Sharon was going to be late at work, which is why I thought the night would be perfect for catching Mark. I have no solid proof of his wrongdoings, other than a suspicion and his previous history, but I considered, perhaps I don't need to get Mark. If Sharon's smart enough, she'll dump the asshole on her own. Until then, I have no reason to interfere. It's not my business, it's not my problem. Sharon's not that weak-willed as to let Mark convince her to kick me out, so he's not a real threat to me. And next time I need something done like a cake for Erica's party, I'll just do it myself and save the extra time it takes to fix his mistakes. So it would appear that I have a night of anime, video games, and other general ass fuckery for myself, no? No. Well, the problem is I had already asked Megan on a date, wanting to use her camera to capture Mark. So that was what I was going to be doing. Megan came over early in the morning to babysit Erica until she went over to Jim sometime in the afternoon. Megan didn't spare Erica knowledge of our date, which Erica teased me about. Jake's in love, etc. But hey, I could pick a worse date. A busty 15-year-old, soon-to-be 16, isn't that bad. And she does babysit Erica, and she did try to help me out when Luke kicked me out. So maybe I should consider her more of a girlfriend. Eventually, if I reject her, she'll just get bored and I could possibly lose a good relationship. On the negative side, she's a bit stalkerish. Either way, I had a date with her tonight, an obligation which I had to keep. So, I was off after teasings from Erica and a kiss from Megan, who highly insisted upon it, meaning I wouldn't get out the door unless I kissed her or mauled her down like a football player. Work, work, work. And I returned home. Megan was waiting for me in my apartment, and I half expected her to be in nothing but her panties with whipped cream all over her nipples or something like that. However, she was just idly watching TV waiting for me to return. Luke was waiting outside. He picked me up from work and was lending me his car for my date. So, we hurried out. After dropping Luke back at Melinda's, we were on our way to our destination. We were going to the cinema to see Transformers, which sucked expectedly. I won't elaborate on the cinematic disaster, but Megan was a bit grabby during the movie. Being sort of a shy person, it was highly embarrassing. Eventually, she grabbed my arm and put it around her. I know I must sound painfully awkward, and I probably am. Truth be told, this particular night was my first date. I was completely unpopular in high school. So, yeah, laugh if you wish. Anyways, after the movie, I didn't see anything else to do. Well, I did, but was committed to not doing that until she's legal, and it's not that long away, so I took her home. When we arrived, though, she wanted me to come in to meet her mom. Surprisingly, she was much kinder than expected. I thought she wouldn't like me, but apparently, Megan told her everything about me. Me adopting Erica, living in a duplex, which she probably said I owned, while leaving out everything bad about me. Her mother said she'd rather have Megan dating me than some irresponsible kid her own age. I didn't correct her, which Megan noticed. She's not my girlfriend yet, though. I'm hoping Erica is okay, though. I told her to be good. Jim has had kids longer than me. Not blind ones, though, so I'm sure he can manage. She'll be growing up before I know it anyways, so I have to get used to her being away from me. Well, I still have a few, like 10 or 11, more years, so it's okay, as long as she doesn't tear down Jim's house. Your fortune, average luck. Hi, B. It's Blindmute Loli guy again. As I've been saying in the chat for the last 2 days, Erica's been acting funny. She's been acting funny, especially to me, as if she's mad at me. I had no idea what I might have done to incur this anger. Still don't. She's been ignoring me, acting rather coldly to me, so I decided to follow the chat's advice today. Talk to her, and don't accept no for an answer. Figure out what her problem is. So I got home from work and found that the gift I had bought for her birthday had finally arrived. It was an iPod. I personally have never owned one. I don't really like the things, but I thought it would be a nice gift for Erica to have music so she can take around. So I give it to Erica, who still gives me sort of the cold shoulder. All of you guys in chat said it was supposed to soften her up. Anyways, I sit her down on the couch and say I want to talk to her a bit. She half listens to me, playing around with the new thing she got, though with not much to do since there's no music on it yet. I tell her, Erica, I know something's wrong. Would you talk to me about it? She says there's nothing wrong. Why have you been acting so strangely then? She says she hasn't. We go a bit like this until she says stop talking about it. Erica, I just want to know what's wrong. I want to help. To which she responds, quit annoying me. I'm getting a bit irked and confused since she's never been bratty with me. Erica, what's your problem? I said this in a slightly more forceful voice, and she didn't seem to like it much. She said, leave me alone, in large letters, and held it up so I could see. And then, I don't know if she was aiming to hit where she did, considering she's blind, or throw it as hard as she did, she threw the iPod right at my face. So it hit me right in the face, enough to make a nice bump and hurt like a bitch, and by the time I looked up she had already ran off to her room. This all just happened not too long ago. I'm not really mad as much as hurt. I don't know what's gotten into her, but if she's going to be violent to me, then what can I do? Maybe it wasn't meant to be. I thought I could be her dad. She'd be my daughter, and everything would work out perfectly. I don't know about it anymore. If I leave, maybe Sharon will take care of her, or maybe she'll get sent back to a home. I don't want to leave her, but maybe I should if she really dislikes me this much. I still don't know what I did. Hey, B. It's Blindmute Loli guy. When we last parted, Erica had just hit me in the face with a flying iPod. Once I left the chat, I was feeling down. I read over the post I made, though, and said, I'm not letting this happen. So I went into Erica's room, determined to do my best. Erica was crying on her bed. I went over to her and put my arm around her, and she didn't push me away. She just cried on me a bit before I asked her what was wrong. She didn't answer me at first. She ignored my question. I asked again and still nothing. I asked one more time, and she seemed to get a bit fussy, so I thought there was going to be more trouble. But then, I don't want you to die. Erica, I'm not going to die. She then told me that I am going to die if I stay around her. She told me that she's cursed to kill everyone she loves. Yeah, she actually believed this. What I learned is that her dad, sister, and mother all died at 3 separate times, her mother being the most recent. Bad luck, but certainly not a curse. She was trying to get me to take her back to the children's home so I could be saved. I told her that nobody's cursed, and if I did die, it wouldn't be because of any curse against her. She didn't believe me at first, but I convinced her. She apologized for acting like she did, and I accepted. She dried her tears on my shirt, and we just lied there together for a bit, before I finally broke the silence. You know, Erica, I love you too. She looked up at me and gave me a big smile. Then a kiss. A father-daughter sort of kiss. I gave a sigh of relief, since the problem seemed to be solved. So then we fell asleep there together. Today, she's back to her usual chipper self, ×4, apparently making up for lost time. She's been hyper the whole day, but is sleeping fine now. Another crisis averted, it would seem. For now. Bum, bum, bum. It's Blindmute Loli Guy, now with 3 lollies. I believe I mentioned this in chat before, but I'll mention it again. Since Jim invited Erica to sleep over at his house, I invited his kids, minus Emo Eric, to stay at Sharon's. And that very night is tonight. I now have 3 lollies in my living room. Amelia, Erica, and Melanie, and no pooper sticking is going on. Does this make me a terrible beatard? Probably. The day started as usual. I wanted to sleep in since I stayed up late and it was the weekend, but always bouncy Erica made sure I was awake. So the morning proceeded as usual, and the afternoon came before I knew it. I was already stocked up on supplies though, plenty of sweet food, junk food, pizza. Contrary to the popular opinion, Loli do like pizza, and other stuff. Soon they arrived, with backpacks and sleeping bags. I would imagine that if I was Kanata's dad from Lucky Star, I would be saying right about now, I win at life. They devoured the pizza. I personally haven't ever cared much for it. And the festivities were set to begin. I had recently rented Big Brain Academy for the Wii, so they decided they wanted to play. Erica couldn't, but she gladly cheered me on. My 2 opponents were Amelia and Melanie. Time to kick some butt. Right? A 19-year-old versus a 6-year-old and a 12-year-old. We started up a brain quiz and had to pick some events, and my turn was first. I picked the balloon popping game. It's simple. Balloons are on the screen, each one with a number, and you pop them lowest to highest. The difficulty was hard though. Never ran into that before. How hard could it be? Suddenly, the screen was filled with like 15 balloons. I looked around for the lowest one, popped -4, and I missed -5. Well, shit. 0 points for me. Okay, it's all cool. I can come back. And look at that, I get a second chance. This one should be easy. All I have to do is guess the animal as they slowly reveal it. I failed that one too, and learned the hardest rule of Big Brain Academy. There are no third chances. I came in second place, sandwiched between the 2 girls. Oh man, I just realized how perverted that sounds. For the second game, Amelia pulled out something she brought, a board game called Pretty Pretty Princess. Oh lord, it's basically a game of chance. You go around the spaces by using a spinner. If you land on certain spaces, you get to pick out jewelry to put on. Those fake earrings really hurt your ears. In the end, Erica was able to come out on top as the prettiest princess of them all, wearing the crown. I, for one, think I would have looked best in it. Everyone except Amelia was sort of bored with the game, playing it non-seriously. The next game they wanted to play was Truth or Dare. Melanie wanted to go first, and asked me Truth or Dare. Not being very daring, I picked truth. Have you ever did it with a girl? Oh, Lord. Damn 12-year-olds. Ask me another question. Erica and Amelia were, at least I hope, confused by the question. No, you picked truth. Answer it. And the answer is no, by the way. Fine, I picked dare. She dared me to rip one of my hairs out and eat it. Instead of doing this, I chose to be exiled from their reindeer games. I don't know what they're doing out there now, but as long as nobody needs to get the emergency room, I guess it's a job well done on my part. Salutations be, good evening, and hello. This is a post of the Blindmute Loli fellow. Take Erica to the doctor, did he today? Leaving work early, he was the big gay. Arriving at the office just in time. Looking so good it must be a crime. Called to the doctor were the two, whose name cast him as a Jew. Provide CPS records did he, which to proved to be no help to me. The doctor said she was in good health, and despite having very little wealth, I scheduled a scan of the brain to find the cause of titular pain. Answers will come, but not now. Don't you go and have a cow, for I will keep you all off fate, and don't you think you need to be irate. If Nurse Kun can speak haiku, don't you think I can be a poet too? Hey, B, it's Blindmute Loli guy again, with no more rhyming. I guess I'm not the next Homer. In the morning, I went into Erica's room to check on her and noticed an odd stain on her pajamas. It seems she wet the bed. Speaking of which, I used to wet the bed until I was 9 or so. I had to wear pull-ups to bed. One time, my older sister told all of my friends, who told the whole school, and everybody started calling me Piss Stain by her suggestion. I changed her into clean pants without trying to wake her up, and I was off to get ready for work. The work day came and went. However, I had something to do before I went home. You see, they often say anime isn't a productive activity. However, watching the anime Midori no Hibi, I had a revelation about my own life. In the anime, a guy named Seiji wakes up and has a girl on his right hand in place of his actual hand. The girl is madly in love with him, and he constantly shoots her down. And I begin thinking, damn bastard Seiji. And then it hit me. It sort of resembles the situation between me and Megan. She tries her hardest to win my affections, helps me out when I need it, and I shoot her down. In the end of the anime, Seiji and Midori, the chick on his hand, eventually become happy lovers. I decided that today I would ask Megan to officially be my girlfriend, to seal the deal. I thought I should buy her some sort of gift, right? Last night in the chat, one of the chat girls, Windmill, messaged me, offering a girl's opinion. We discussed for a bit. Eventually, she brought up that maybe a dildo would be a good idea. Odd, yes, but it did actually seem like an okay choice. The best I could think of was a run-of-the-mill idea of buy her some shiny jewelry, and I think Megan's a bit kinkier than that. Examples. One time she said that maybe she could win me over with doing something kinky, and then kicked me in my flesh spheres. During a random conversation between us, she answered yes to me asking if she would ever pee on a guy. As the night went on, I decided upon it. Tomorrow, dildo it is. So where one buys dildos would be an adult shop, and that's where I went. As I arrived, I immediately began to become increasingly uncomfortable. As I walked in, all sorts of thoughts raced through my head. What if CPS has set up spies to watch me? Oh, what the fuck? I have a 9-year-old daughter. I shouldn't be in a sex toy shop. I'm buying a 15-year-old a dildo. What the fuck kind of crazy-ass pervert am I? Heart pounding, sweating, arms stiff as a board to my sides as I realized I needed to get the fuck out of this place. As I'm leaving, something crosses my eyes. A fleshlight. I've heard of them before, seen pics, but never used one or looked at it. As if in a trance, thinking, buy it. No, don't buy it. Buy it. No, fuck you, don't buy it. But I gave in. I bought it. I grabbed it, brought it up to the register, and felt like I was going to faint on the counter because of how anxious I am. The lady there even asked me if I was okay, but the purchase was complete. I got into my car and drove straight home, not even caring that I didn't get Megan anything. A mix of arousal and disgust. If I can't get the real vag, maybe this will feel great. Oh God, why did I buy this? I could have spent the money on something, buying Erica socks. I'm a terrible person. It's probably overrated. But maybe it'll be an awesome masturbatory tool. What if Sharon or Erica discover it? Going home with the bag felt like smuggling some illegal immigrant. Damn you, Senor Fleshlight. But my penis needs to violate you. When I got home, as expected, Megan asked what was in the bag. This got Erica interested, which was bad. She tried to peek inside, so I grabbed her hand and ran to my room. I stashed the Senor where nobody would find him, or her. Appearing back out, I drifted away from the conversation, asking Megan the $4 question. Would you like to be my official girlfriend? She said yes. Mission complete. Accuracy 100%. Erica was snickering, making kissy faces and such. Then she asked if this would make Megan her mom. We both laughed, but to point something out here, if Megan dating me would make Erica think she would possibly end up her mom, what does that make me? Hell yeah, motherfucker. I drove Megan home, and in the car she was being particularly grabby, trying to give me a hand job while I was driving. Do you want us to crash? She just giggled and said, and you wonder why you're still a virgin. And you aren't? This, of course, would contradict what she previously told me, catching her in a lie. She stopped giggling and responded, well, no, but I'm not as uptight as you are. Upon coming home, I had a little talk with Erica about her wetting the bed. She was embarrassed about the subject, not knowing herself that she did since I changed her wet clothes, but she told me she's had a problem with it for a while, but she thought she got over it. To make her feel better, I told her about my own nocturnal urine emissions, and she laughed at my former nickname. You know, though, it's nothing to be ashamed of. If you need something to help you with it, it's not a big deal. But she seemed vehemently opposed to the idea of anything like that. Well, I suppose it's fine for now. I also told her about a recurring nightmare I had. I would just be walking along in a seemingly normal situation, and then suddenly a trapdoor would open below me and I would fall in it. It's like that game show, Russian Roulette. Not terribly frightening, I suppose, but still scared me as a kid. Erica says she doesn't remember many of her dreams. A shame, since kids are supposed to have more dream retention than us. As for the Senor, he's still in his hiding place. I'm sort of scared to take him out, to use him. Eventually, I'll have to face him head on and drop a load of zygote ingredient into his sweet hole. Maybe not tonight, though. Hello, B. It's Blindmute Loli guy. In case you didn't know, I went to my parents' house for the weekend and took Erica and Megan along to meet my parents. Before I get into that, though, I'll mention a little talk I had with Megan. The night before I left, the chat was harassing me with questions and such. What would you do if Erica wanted to buy a thong? What would you do if Erica got pregnant at 14? And all sorts of their pedophile fantasies. Anyways, I said to the thong thing, she wouldn't. How do you know? Asked the chatters. Well, I'm the primary influence on her, and I buy her clothes, so she'd have no reason to want one, and she can't even see it. Then the chat told me that there was in fact another influence on Erica. Megan. They asked what would happen if one day Erica went to Megan and asked for advice on how to be sexy or appeal to men or whatnot. So I have to say it bothered me. I talked to Megan about it the next day before we left. So, Megan, let's say that one day, Erica came up to you and started asking advice on how to be sexy. What would you say? Megan looked at me like I was a pedo. I mean, how do I put it? I had to express what I wanted to express without offending Megan. Would you ever recommend Erica wear a thong? She's only 9, Jake! No, I mean if she's around your age, would you? Well, every girl wears them. Don't tell me you have a problem with thongs. Well, I'd kind of prefer she never wore them. Do you not want me to wear one? Oh, curse her, appealing to my dick. Well, I think they're appropriate in a private bedroom atmosphere. They're okay, but in public, okay, I won't wear them. That was oddly easy. Getting off of that subject. So, Megan, when did your parents give you the talk? They didn't, actually. I learned stuff from my friends and school. When should I give Erica the talk then? Maybe 10 years old, suggested Megan. Oh Lord, she agreed with the chat. I thought I didn't have to worry about this stuff until she was like 13. You've never talked to her about any of that stuff, right, Megan? I just taught her how to masturbate. What? No, I was kidding. So that's basically how the conversation went. I guess it didn't really help much, but hey, I suppose I have to accept it. She won't be totally innocent forever. At least, I've still got time. So we were packed and ready to go. Sharon wasn't there to say goodbye. I figured I'd call her when we got there so she knows we aren't dead, even if she cares, as long as her and Mark's alright. We get to the car and we were off. Megan sat by me in the front seat, and Erica had the back all to herself. It was a pleasant trip. Erica had some music on the iPod that she got now, so she listened to that. For a bit, we played a guessing game of describing something and having other people guess what it is, and then she fell asleep. She woke up, and we stopped at a gas station for a bathroom break, and she fell asleep and stayed asleep for the rest of the trip. Megan played my DS. She liked the pink marshmallow. Kirby. It wasn't long before we arrived. Erica, wake up. We're here. She woke up, and we walked into my parents' house. My mother, father, and sister were waiting for us in the living room. Erica and I walked in, and once my mom saw her, she melted into an entirely new form. She went into ultra grandmother mode. My mom and dad both went up to Erica and were enthralled by her cuteness. My mother said, "She's just too adorable." And my dad went, "She's the cutest damn thing I've ever seen." Erica was enjoying the attention. "Yep, your only son here." "Oh, please, if you were as cute as her, you would have had a girlfriend in high school," said my mother. "Ha, well, she was about to get hers." "Actually, Mom, I brought my girlfriend to see you both too." Megan was in the bathroom, and when she came out, my parents had a different reaction. A look of, "Isn't she a bit young?" They didn't say it, of course, though, and they were nice. My sister loved Erica too. She agreed equally that Erica was the cutest thing ever. She reacted a bit less nicely to Megan, though. At least she gave me a hug. So we all went out to dinner. We had a nice time, and after we went home, my parents went to bed, so it was just us kids up. Erica, Emily, and Megan went to the room, leaving me alone. So I watched a bit of TV and decided to go in to see what they were doing. When I looked, they all had underwear on their head. Girls sure are strange. Eventually, everybody went to bed. We woke up the next morning and my parents wanted to do something all together, so we decided on going bowling. Erica said she's done it before, so I believe her. We all arrived at the bowling alley and got our shoes on. Now I know what you're thinking. Erica can't bowl. Well, that's partially true. We had to get a lane with bumpers because if we didn't, I would imagine she wouldn't be able to bowl very well at all. However, if we showed her where the edges of our lane were, she was able to bowl fine, or at least keep the ball in our lane. Of course, it might have been more luck than skill, but she didn't do terrible. She even got a strike once. So we played and played. Everyone enjoyed themselves and such. My parents paid for it all. In fact, since my parents were in giving grandparent mode, Erica made off with a lot of loot before the weekend was over. After bowling, Megan, my mom, my sister, and Erica went shopping, so my dad and I were left alone. We went home and hung out for a bit. "Want a beer, Jake?" "I don't really drink." "What kind of 19-year-old are you?" So I had one. Yes, I know I sound like some huge-ass loser. I'm not straight edge or anything like that, I just don't get out much. We just watch TV and stuff. Eventually they returned, and Erica showed us all the new outfits she bought that my mother thought were just adorable. Well, she did look cute. Anyways, after people had retired to bed, Megan decided to come into my room. Erica was already asleep, but I had an idea of what Megan wanted. So before I knew it, Megan was humping my crotch on the bed. My old bed. The same bed I had for 4 years of high school without getting any action. My mind did a sort of, maybe I shouldn't, but my penis has always been a fast and smooth talker. He can convince me to do most anything. My sister was up still, and she walked in, gave me a real nasty look, but just closed the door and walked away. Megan didn't seem to care, and began humping away again, but I pushed her off, and pre-cum was dripping from my dick. I went into my sister's room. I'm sorry about what you saw in there. I shouldn't have been doing that. I knew exactly what you were going to do. That's why I came in your room. What? She told me she doesn't like Megan. You've just always been a nice guy, Jake. I don't want to see you get hurt. Aw, so she is worried about me. I sat down on the bed next to her and put my arm around her. Don't get any ideas. Megan isn't a bad chick. Don't worry. So after a bit, she said okay. I gave her a hug and left the room. When I got back, Megan was pissed that I had chosen to go comfort my sister rather than stay with her. So it looks like the virginity fairy had yet evaded me again. I just put my head down and whimpered like a dog, and fapped away. When we woke up on Sunday, we only had a bit before we had to go. My sister was visibly nicer to Megan though, who was back to her usual flirtatious self and not being mad at me. This flirtatiousness being when nobody is around, we ate breakfast and hung out a bit before we went. My mother and father once again gave Erica a big hug, happy about their new granddaughter. They even gave Megan a hug, being hug happy, so I'd say things rather worked out. In the end, both Erica and Megan ended up getting the seal of approval from my family. Didn't get laid, but I had a good time, and Erica did too. Became closer to my sister, who was worried about her loserish yet sweet Oni-chan. Okay, she never called me Oni-chan, but wouldn't it be great if she did? Megan's birthday, August 1st, is tomorrow too. I'm going to take her out for her birthday, but I still don't have a gift. So yeah, I'm going to need to do some shopping quick tomorrow. Any ideas? I was also thinking of giving her a birthday party during the weekend at Sharon's place. And about the Senior, the fleshlight. Nope, I haven't used it yet. I've been away from it the whole weekend and I just forgot about it until somebody in chat mentioned it just now. Maybe I'll use it tonight. Hello, B. It's Blindmute Loli Guy here again. Now, as you may or may not know, tonight was Megan's birthday, meaning that she turned 16. Legal, perfectly acceptable to fuck without the party van trying to get me. So tonight was the night I was going to have sex with her and lose my virginity after 19 long years. The operation was a three-pronged effort. The first offensive front would be taking her out to dinner. Then I would present the gift I bought her. Then fuck her. Erica was going to stay at Jim's until Sharon got home, and then I would go pick Megan up. Getting ready, I tried to make myself look and smell as good as possible. Hopefully good-smelling cologne, hair not all messy, decent clothes. Well, I think you look about as good as is possible for you, I said to myself in the mirror. I told Erica to wish me luck, and she got a mischievous look on her face. Are you getting lucky tonight? What? What has Melanie been telling you, Erica? Damn 12-year-olds. Don't listen to her. I dropped Erica off at Jim's, gave her a kiss for luck, and I was off. I arrived at Megan's door, who was looking beautiful. But, uh-oh, the enemy deployed a weapon I hadn't accounted for. Megan wanted me to officially meet her dad. Keep in mind, I had met him before, when I was homeless for a day. By the look on his face, I could tell he wasn't happy that I was taking out his daughter, or that she was now officially legal. So you got a home now, or you living in a box? Yep, he definitely wasn't happy to see me. I live in a duplex, sir. Oh, how I wanted to smack the glare off his face. Where do you work? I told him the restaurant, to which he gave me an asshole-ish, You go to college? Fuck him. Not currently. He had run out of questions after that, meaning we could finally leave. Dinner went by without anything of note happening. She was having a good time, which meant I was doing well. Then it was time to present my gift. I'm a pretty unoriginal fuck, so I went with something Windmill from the chat told me. Contrary to a previous claim I made, she actually wanted me to put a ring around my penis, not a dildo. More from Fox at 11. So I got a cladag ring, if that's spelled right, what she told me. And it means different things if you put it on different fingers or in different ways. Usual stuff girls eat up. Of course, I was going to try and be less boring, so I had 2 small ring boxes, except they both had condoms in them. I told her that if she picked the one with the ring in it, which there wasn't, she gets the ring. And if she picks the condom, she has sex with me. She picks one, and it has a condom in it. And I show her the other one has the same. And then I produce the ring from my pocket. Aren't I such a smooth operator? So, we were going to a motel to do our business. Arriving in the room, Megan wastes no time in getting down to business. She strips to her underwear and begins humping my crotch. Suddenly, I begin getting a bit anxious, waiting for this day forever, yet I can't do it. Shit, it's not going up. I started slipping into a negative thought pattern. You're going to fail so hard at this. Now, let me take you back. 1996. Being 19 now in 2007. 2007 minus 1996 would make me around 8. I'm sure many B-tards were also little skippers around that time, and some probably much younger. Back in 1996, a show called Hey Arnold came on the air, about a good-hearted kid with a weird-shaped head. It was. Arnold made an effort to help many of the neighborhood denizens, but one of the most memorable would have been the Stoop Kid. Stoop Kid was afraid to leave his stoop. He was taunted by everybody, but Stoop Kid eventually took that fateful step off of his stoop. And you know what he chanted? I think I can. And there it was. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. And then I was reminded of a little song from FLCL by The Pillows, by that same name. The opening guitar sequence of the song played in my head as I was now prepared to fuck this woman. Boner rising, T-Link established. It was time. Megan continued, and my boner steadily rose. I laid down on the bed, and she took my dick out and began sucking on it. Amazing, it was. Extremely amazing. As a side note, last night I did use the fleshlight. It was okay, but nothing compared to Megan. It did make me wonder if she hadn't done it before, though. Before long, she flips around, putting her vag in my face. Alright, this is it. Giving oral, I can do this. I've read up on it plenty. No problem. Wait, what the fuck is this? This wasn't in the Wikipedia article. It was piss. Megan pissed on my face. Megan, why the fuck did you do that? I thought you liked that weird stuff. Not by surprise, you got it in my eye. Well, I'm sorry, I'm kinky. Megan, do you have to make jokes? I'm trying to do this and you're not making it easy. You could always do it by yourself. Well, I can't argue with that. So yes, she did really piss on my face, and I wouldn't have minded if she would have told me. I would have found it erotic, except that her piss burned my eye, so I went to the bathroom to wash it out, and then came back. It was time to skip the other shit and just fuck her already, so I stripped fully naked, as did she, and it was time to go. I got on top of her, about to stick my dick in, and she was about to argue with me. Missionary? Yeah, what's the problem? Well, it's sort of plain, isn't it? What is her problem? What position does your highness want to do? Doggy, maybe? Oh, fuck this. I wasn't going to debate with her while my dick gets softer and softer. She should go fuck Airbud if she likes dogs. So I just stick my dick in, and she sighed at me. I mean, it may have just been some other sigh-like noise, but still. Never have I felt a lesser man. Oh wait, stay tuned. So I begin thrusting. I think I can. Wait a second, it's over? No, it can't be over. We have like 5 more verses. Looking at the unsatisfied expression on Megan's face, I could tell it was definitely over. So I orgasmed. Great and all, but once I came back, seeing that face, that expression, it'll give me nightmares. Her eyes saying, that was it. I mean, I didn't expect to last long my first time, but this was unexpected. I probably lasted no longer than it would take you to read any sentence in this paragraph. As I threw the condom away, the closing guitar sequence of the song played out. I mean, it's possible I didn't do that bad and we both had unreal expectations, but it felt like an extremely short time. Then we got cleaned up and I drove her home. We didn't say too much to each other on the way, my performance being rather underwhelming. So yeah, I'm sort of embarrassed. Actually, I'm more than sort of embarrassed. Emasculated. It's at these times I appreciate the signor, who may be my only sex partner if I keep this up. And that's how it happened. Hopefully the J-Rock and Hey Arnold distracted you from my massive failure. On a side note, I got an IM from my sister. She enjoyed my visit and seeing Erica. She wanted to come up to stay at Sharon's for a bit. Mom and Dad agreed, so they're going to drive her up on Saturday. At least something good happened. Erica was excited at this idea. Hello/B, Blindmute Loli guy here. Over the weekend, my sister came to visit, and she's still here to stay for a week. She arrived on Saturday, but something happened before that on Friday. Megan was babysitting as usual, and when I came home, she pulled me into the other room to talk privately. Jake, I have something to tell you, and you may not like it. Yada yada yada, she's building tension to tell me some lame joke or something. I used an EPT today. EPT? Electric pet lizard? Oh shit, early pregnancy test. Okay, so now I'm starting to shit bricks. Anyways, it came up. I'm shitting full bricks now. Positive. I'm shitting a brick house. So thoughts run through my head in the pitter-patter of a little baby, in addition to Erica that I have to take care of, and then of course there's the cost that goes along with it. Megan could tell I was minorly freaking out, so she says, "Just kidding." God damn her. Jake, you're so gullible. It's too early for one of those anyways. So yeah, it was a joke. But Jake, I think I should break up with you. Another joke. She's not laughing. Nope, the first joke was to soften me up for that. Megan broke up with me. I wasn't really that upset, just a bit disappointed. I did lose my virginity to this girl, and I was sort of convinced she wasn't a shallow bitch, but I don't know why she would expect me to be good in the bed, though. Whatever, I drove her home in silence, with a Mr. Grumpy look on my face. I went home and told Erica the news, and she said she could be my girlfriend if I needed one. Of course, I had to smile at that. So I gave Erica the ring that I just got back, and her and I sat at home the whole evening together, and it was a lot better than having sex with Megan. On Saturday, about noon, my sister arrived. My parents couldn't resist coming to my place to see Erica, and of course snoop around. My dad looked around at Sharon's clothes, strung all over the place, and said, "Hasn't this lady ever heard of a hamper?" Guess not. As my nose recalled that panty scent wafting on my nostrils, my dad gave Erica some money. So she was happy as a clam, which made him give her even more. Thanks for that college savings account, by the way, Dad. After they left, we all went out for some ice cream. Well, I didn't have any. I don't like it that much. I told Erica she could pay for it with her newfound wealth, and she gave me her sad puppy expression, which is too cute to argue with. Luke came too, since I had called him over today. I was missing the 360, which was fixed now, so I wanted to trade him for the Wii, which he admitted he was missing. Technically, both systems are more his than mine, since he paid the most money for both, but he does have 11 other systems at his place which belong to me. I never throw them away. Apparently, my sister likes Final Fantasy, and so does Luke, which sometimes annoys the shit out of me. So they both had Sephiroth-gasms all over each other. I didn't even know my sister had a PS2. There certainly wasn't one in her room, and I never had one either, so she couldn't have played it with me. Maybe at a friend's house? Erica certainly made a mess of her ice cream, but most kids do. We returned home and hung out a bit for the rest of the evening. Sharon called and said she was sleeping over at Mark's. Every day we see less and less of her, so my sister took Sharon's bed. When everybody was asleep, I pulled out the fleshlight. I began using it, but of course it had to be interrupted. Erica walked into my room while I was fucking away at it. She couldn't see me, obviously, so she didn't know what I was doing. I don't know if I made a loud noise, but I stopped when she came in and quickly pulled up my pants and threw the fleshlight on the floor. What she wanted to talk to me about was what she had in her pants. Urine, that is. She woke up and found she wet herself again. So I was playing dad while my throbbing dick was like, "Lol, what? Where'd the fleshlight go?" "Do you have any nightmares that go along with wetting yourself?" She said no, and that she dreams about dogs peeing on fire hydrants, and then wets herself usually. Well, bedwetting is completely normal, and some people just do it for longer than others. It'll go away on its own, though. I cleaned her up and sent her back to bed, and my sister was up, probably because I stumbled around in the dark and crashed into stuff. I don't know how Erica does it. What's wrong, Jake? Nothing. Erica wet herself a bit. Oh. Okay. She yawned and went back to bed. Then my penis dragged me back into my sleeping quarters, shot me in the face, and dumped my body in the river. Not really, but I did finish up with the fleshlight. On Sunday, Luke made a little surprise visit. My sister and I played Gears of War a bit. My sister was a bit clueless. Apparently, real time is a bit of trouble for her. Erica sat on my lap and I had her man the button to activate the Lancer's chainsaw, so I had her chainsawing aliens. And now, thanks to Luke, my sister wants to dress up as Yuna and go to an anime con. Luke told her she'd make a good Yuna. I need to save my sister from weeabooism. Luke even tried to steal Erica for the FF fanboys, saying she could be like Riku. Other than that, a pretty average day. I asked my sister to babysit tomorrow since I don't think I want to hire Megan again. Sup B, Blindmute Loli guy here. As stated in a previous post, my sister is visiting me this week. I haven't actually seen much of her though. It seems that every time I get home from work, she's going to the mall or something. I did just have an odd conversation with her though. She asked me how I felt about older guys dating younger women. I said that they should date guys more suited to their own age, and that's all she cared to hear on the matter. I know what you're thinking. Sounds like a cliched incest setup, but there has been none of that. In other news, I found a game that Erica can play, Typing of the Dead. She can't see the words needing to be typed, so I have to tell her what she needs to type, which can sometimes be a hazard in tense zombie situations, but she's actually become pretty good at using a keyboard. I just randomly found it on my computer. It's nice that she can enjoy two of my great loves though, typing and the slaying of the undead. Now if only they included an option to have a little zombie rape. Megan has been unsuccessfully trying to get me back, I think. Not for my amazing charms, I would imagine, but some other crazy motive. She's being pretty outrageous about it too. She's complimented my dick size, then called me a pedophile, talked about sticking shampoo bottles up her ass, and all sorts of stupid things. I could get rid of her, but it's pretty funny, and as an added revenge, I told her old boyfriend she was single again, so I imagine he's stalking her now. For the most important thing today, though, Erica told me something that I didn't exactly like. Erica said randomly today, I almost got kissed. Oh, what? It seems emo Eric, Jim's son, has a bit of an anonymous in him. He was playing Truth or Dare with Erica, Melanie, and Amelia, and dared Erica to kiss him. She refused, and luckily she had the good sense to tell me. I told her not to play those kinds of games with Eric, but there's still the matter of what to do with him. Unlike Luke, he's not my friend, and he went for Erica directly, so he's in a shitload of trouble with me. By the time she had said this, it was too late to go over to Jim's, so I had to let my anger simmer. There's two ways I could go with this. The first would be telling Jim and let him dispense whatever forms of parental such and such he deems fit. The second would be go over and rough Eric up a bit. I'm liking the second one. Either way, tomorrow I'm going to make sure Eric gets his horny little teenage mind put back into reality. There's a small chance he didn't mean anything by it, but an even bigger chance he's trying something that I definitely don't like, and if he ever tried anything further, he'd have a real problem. It's not like I can really stop her from going to Jim's. Well, I could, but she likes Melanie and Amelia, so it's not a good idea. I'm wondering if Eric's ever tried something on his sisters. Damn, I really want to punch the shit out of him. I'm no bodybuilder, but he's pretty scrawny. But he's younger than me, so I guess I can't without getting in trouble. Now I'm ranting about it, and it's actually pretty fucking pissing me off that he would dare try something. Have to stay cool, though. Erica said kissing boys is gross anyways. Thank the Lord for childhood innocence. Hello, B. Blindmute Loli guy here. So getting right into business, Emo Eric had a little rage from me coming over today, being that he tried to violate the innocence of my Erica. How to get to him, though. I decided on scaring him a bit, just to make sure he would never even think about doing anything again. After work, I called Jim and asked if it would be okay if Erica could play with Amelia and Melanie there a bit. Jim said yes, as he always does since he's such a nice guy. And Erica and I were off. When we arrived, it seems Emo Eric already had his game face on. He was downstairs and gave an enthusiastic hello to Erica. Bastard. I sat down to converse with Jim for a bit, but my real target was Eric. Eventually, Erica became tired of our adult chit-chat, as did I. Jim's a nice guy, but he goes on and on. So she ran upstairs to play with Melanie and Amelia, and with that, Eric went to go upstairs too. Fuck, he's going to escape my clutches. So I needed some excuse real fast to follow Eric upstairs. Eureka! Hey Jim, can I use your bathroom? Now, in actuality, this isn't much of a good excuse. Sharon's place and Sharon's bathroom was extremely close, being that it is a duplex. But we don't share any actual rooms. Jim said sure, though. So I ran upstairs behind Eric. In the hallway, right behind my prey, I started slowly, acting like I was just walking to the bathroom innocently. But I had my predator eyes upon him, and they lusted for his blood, or at least his fear. Then he came to the opening of his room, which I entered, and before he realized I'd came in behind him and I was holding him by his shirt against the wall. I put on my best, slightly crazy looking face, one that says, I just jerked off in the pancake batter. He didn't scream or struggle, he just gave me the deer in the headlights look. I'm pretty sure he knew exactly what it was about, and I'm pretty sure he expected me to throw him out of the window. Of course, even though he knew exactly what it was all about, I couldn't let him get off that easy. Ever played Truth or Dare? He didn't answer me, just gave me that frightened expression again. That alone was extremely satisfying. I sure wiped his, I'm so apathetic, I don't care about anything, I'm emo, expression off of his face pretty damn fast. Okay, Eric, I'm not going to kill you because I'm older than you and I'd get in a lot of trouble. However, I'll tell you this. If I find out, and I will find out, that you've been trying any more of the shit you tried yesterday, I will cut your dick off. Do you understand? At this point, I half let him go and pushed him into the wall and he fell down. At that point, he actually groveled at my feet and thanked me, then apologized and said he'd never do anything again. Lols worthy, since he didn't actually do anything he could really get in trouble, at least legally for, but he was treating it as a life or death situation, which I just spared him from. Either way, it works for me. Upon leaving, I did have one last nugget of advice for him. Try going after chicks your own age. And with that, I wrote down a phone number. Megan's. So that was another problem solved. When Erica got home, I asked her if she'd seen Eric at all and said he didn't come out of his room the entire time she was there. In other news, Mark has become an even bigger douchebag. He bought a motorcycle and drives it in our driveway late at night to show Sharon. Erica was already asleep, and I'm sure Jim's family was too, but no, he had to come to see his women. And he couldn't just show her. He had to rev it up really loud for 5 or 10 minutes. It must have been because he's such a badass on it. He woke Erica up, who had this to write about it. He's an asshole. I know, I shouldn't be encouraging profanity. Not like she doesn't already know tons of it, but I had to agree with her on that. I have a feeling tonight won't be the last time I hear that annoying vroom vroom. Megan's still trying to talk to me, as I'm writing this post, which is annoying. She hasn't mentioned anybody calling her yet, so I guess Eric wimped out. In other news, my birthday is Sunday, which is also the same day my sister is going home. I've begun to form a little theory. I haven't seen much of her. She seems to be always going to the mall every day when I come home. The convo we had last night was the longest in a while. So I'm thinking maybe she's planning a little surprise birthday party. It all fits in perfectly. My parents happen to be coming up the same day to pick her up, and she's been out possibly making preparations. Wishful thinking, maybe, but it'd be nice. Thinking about it, I tried to interrogate Erica a bit to see if she knows anything. She told me nothing, but I'm not entirely sure she doesn't know anything. Hey B, Blindmute Loli guy here. Saturday started out as a normal day. All was peaceful and serene. A little too peaceful, perhaps. Luke calls me up in the afternoon, saying he wants me to come over, so I asked my sister to watch Erica for a bit, and I went over. I arrive, and Luke and I sit down in front of the Wii. Brain age is in the Wii, so we begin to do a mind sprint. All memorization questions. My favorite subject. I'm focusing on remembering things, birds, faces, and numbers, and he begins to talk. So, Jake. I'm only half focusing on what he's saying, as we usually do when playing games. I'm noticing he's not actually even playing though, which starts to worry me. And then he just comes out and says it. Jake, your sister and I have been seeing each other. Yes, Luke and my sister are fucking. All those times she went out to the mall were actually her going to see Luke. I got made. I got really fucking mad. Not only do they do this, they do it behind my back. There was even one day where my sister ditched Erica's at Jim's, causing me not to know where she was, causing me to freak out, before I got home from work to go out, which was actually to see Luke. Apparently, Luke thought I would take this more calmly than I did. I punched him right in the face and stormed out of the house. I'm outside of Luke's house, storming around still pretty pissed off, rightfully so though, and then I see a cop car come up the driveway. Oh fuck. They get out and yell at me to put my hands up. So I comply. They put me in handcuffs. Sir, you're not under arrest. I'm just doing this for my safety. I love how they call you sir, like they're serving you at a restaurant. Luke had called the cops on me. He goes and fucks my sister, then he calls the fucking cops on me. So after Luke, his nose was bleeding, and I told our respective sides of the stories, the cops decide I'm under arrest. They read me my rights, and off we go. So, you've got the guy who just fucked a 13-year-old girl, and the guy who punched him in the face, and you take away the second guy? I was allowed one phone call, so I called Sharon's house. I picked up the phone, and it was answered, but nobody was speaking. So I assumed it was Erica on the other end. Erica, get my sister on the phone. Nothing. After saying this a few more times, they tell me I need to hurry up, so I tell Erica this. Erica, when Sharon comes home, tell her... And then I told her all the info she'll need. So no problem, right? Sharon will come home, come down, bail me out, and it'll all be fine. I ended up spending the night in the gulag. I later learned from Erica that after they arrested me, Luke came to take my sister to his house, and that Sharon called later and said she was staying over with Mark, so my sister left Erica by herself. She says she did fine by herself. She knows her way around the apartment, but it still makes me feel like a complete failure of a parent. Saturday was a nice big failure, so we arrive at Sunday, my birthday. I'm now the ripe old age of 20. Did I get my wonderful surprise party? No. My sister was already gone, so I didn't see her or my parents. They called me later, though, to chew my ass out for letting her see Luke, as if I walked up to them and said, "Oh hey, here's a condom, here's some lube, hope your ED is doing okay, Luke, bye." Sharon yelled at me about it too, saying I acted irresponsibly. She, the woman who is almost never home to be with the girl who is actually going to end up being her daughter legally because she's off gallivanting with a douchebag BF on his douchebag motorcycle, is calling me irresponsible? Now at this point, I had a little moral issue. Luke is cheating on Melinda. Do I tell her? On one hand, Luke hid all of this from me, fucked my sister, and did tons of shitty things. On the other hand, why do I care? Luke and I are officially not friends now, and this time we probably won't make up. On a third hand, I do believe that if somebody is getting cheated on, they deserve to know, and Luke might get kicked out of her house, which is good revenge. On yet another hand, that's sort of petty. On a final hand, I don't actually know if they had sex, but I bet they did. Fucking Luke can't keep his pedophile hands off of her. I gave him a lot of credit. He's done some bad shit before, but I let it slide. And now he's gone too far. On a brighter note, possibly one of the greatest things to ever happen today, Erica could sense I was having a very good birthday. So, she came up to me and gave me an envelope. A card? At this point, I just wanted to kiss Erica. She was the first person to even recognize it was my birthday. Seriously, I haven't even heard the word birthday. I opened up the envelope, and there was a folded piece of paper inside. It was the simplest and best card I could have ever gotten. On the inside, it just said, "Happy birthday, Dad." Yes, it was amazing. Tears welling up in my eyes. It was a sappy, happy moment. I just smiled at her and gave her a huge hug. I know you all probably understand how happy this makes me. It took away the whole sting of the weekend, really. I can never replace her old parents, but the fact that she recognizes me as a new parent makes everything worth it. It really is pretty amazing. All of this Luke sister drama doesn't even really matter to me now. I'm starting to think that it just may be like this forever. Erica and I, father and daughter, and every day with her will be just like that. As for my sister and Luke, I don't really care about them anymore. They can do whatever they want. I'm tired of getting involved in everyone else's shit. I'm just going to worry about what's important to me, Erica, and myself. If you're reading this, you already know who it is, so why bother saying it? I'll just say it. She's gone. She's fucking gone. Adoption application was rejected. Why? Well, Sharon told me that this was my fault, that my little run-in with the police was the problem. Well, it wasn't. Sharon left out a little bit of information, that her fucking douchebag boyfriend has a bit of a criminal history. Sharon gets home, pulls me to the side and tells me this. I still can't fucking believe it. They just stamped some denied on a goddamn piece of paper and it's over? I had to look at Erica on the couch, perfectly fine, going about her business, and it was just up to me to fucking tell her. So I started telling her, and I knew I was breaking. I knew I wasn't going to last any longer. I started crying on her, And when she heard, she did the same thing. Sharon just basically pulled her away from me, and all I could fucking do was cry. I barely even said goodbye. When she left, I just fucking sat there crying like an asshole. And then I became impetuous, as I usually am, thinking I needed to go kill myself. Of course, I didn't. I thought it over and thought that it would be okay. Surely there's gotta be some appeal, right? Surely I can go see her until then. Surely it'll get sorted out, right? Well, today, no. I tried asking Sharon if there was anything. She could tell I was miserable and that it was killing me. And here's what she fucking said to me. Jake, maybe it's time you need to move on. Jake, you're young. You don't need a kid to worry about. And, Jake, Mark and I are getting married. We want to start our own family. I wanted to strangle Sharon. I really did. I guess that's her opinion of it. Erica was just a phase, and now her and I can move on with our lives and do something else. That fucking cunt. She knew it all along. She knew it would be rejected. She wanted it to be. She probably did it herself, that bitch. I hate her. She's going to marry that douchebag. She also said it's time I find another place to stay, in her nice little roundabout cunt way. So yeah, I'm back where I started. No Erica, no house. I tried going down to the children's home to visit her, and they fucking rejected me. They said that visitation was for potential adopters only, and being that I'm rejected, I'm not a potential adopter. That's just all they do is fucking reject and reject and reject. So what does all this mean? I'm never going to fucking see her at all again. The last little crying bit was the last I get to see her? I tried calling Luke. He hates me. He doesn't want anything to do with me. He told Melinda himself, and she already forgave him. My little sister doesn't like me much either, and my parents are still pissed at me. I can't go with them. Sharon basically told me I'm a fucking leech. Mark despises me. Megan's got a new boyfriend and doesn't want anything to do with me. So yeah, there you go. You all win. I know everybody out here reading this, and everybody in the chat enjoys it more than the shit goes bad for me than when it does good. You fucking win, guys. Fuck you all. I guess it goes without saying that this is the last you'll ever hear of me. I may be in chat or sign on to AIM if I don't fucking kill myself tonight. It's looking pretty damn good, I have to tell you. But I don't know why I should when all of you just wanted to see me fail. You win. I failed. I get nothing. I hope you enjoy that. I hope you all really do. Sharon, Luke, they all wanted me to fail too. I really do hate the world though. Why shouldn't I? What happened to fucking karma? It works in the exact goddamn opposite for me. I try to do nice stuff and all I get is shit. It's over. I won't see her again. I really do feel like just being rid of all the stupid shit this world has to offer.